What it be like, world? It's your main man, Mighty, here with the very first episode of Mean Hook. Now, we got a crazy one coming up with UFC 254, Khabib Nutmeg and a Dove versus Justin Highlight Gaethje. This is about to be crazy. So what we're gonna do today is that we're gonna go over the strengths and their weaknesses of both Khabib and Justin. And I'm gonna let y'all know who I think is gonna take the dub. So let's start with Khabib. Khabib, the Eagle Nurmagomedov. This dude is unreal. He's unreal. This dude's grappling, his wrestling is top notch, probably the best in the lightweight division. Probably not probably either. Probably is the best, yeah. So let's take a look at his last fight with Dustin Poirier. Of course, 2019, submitted him in the third. So I see that his last 3 fights was 2 by submission and 1 by decision. So he easily wins in takedowns. People would be pretty stupid to try to wrestle with Khabib. But surprisingly, with Dustin being like a really good striker, Khabib was still able to outstrike him percentage-wise. And then, which is why I'm wondering, what is the secret with Gaethje? Because he took Khabib all the way to the 5th round to decision. Now that's not really heard of when it comes to Khabib, you know? So definitely want to know what's going on with that. And then his second fight, or his second to last fight against McGregor in 2018, made the King submit in the 4th. Crazy. And that's actual bad blood. They got like real beef, like actual beef. And of course, McGregor though, you're not gonna get the edge on striking with McGregor. McGregor is just that dude when it comes to striking, no question. Takedowns though, yeah, Khabib took him down, but surprisingly, he only took him down like 3 times. 3 times the whole fight. That's crazy. But it was enough though. It was enough though to get the submission win in the 4th. And then with Gaethje, Gaethje was able to make it go the distance. He was able to make the fight go the distance. And of course, Khabib ended up winning by decision. But I don't know if Khabib went to the 5th round with anybody else, you know? And of course, with Khabib, his striking, he was definitely at the advantage in striking over Gaethje, surprisingly. Of course, wrestling takedowns, he landed like 6 takedowns. Gaethje wasn't gonna have a chance with that.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
But he ended up going to decision. So I would say that his wrestling and his ground and pound is definitely Khabib's strengths. So now let's switch it. Let's switch gears and go over to Justin the Highlight Gaethje. Now this guy, he is a knockout machine. Like he's had the last 3 fights, he's had two TKOs and then 1 KO. That's crazy. No one has made it out of like the entire fight, like rounds 1 through 5 with Justin Gaethje. 2 of the fights only lasted in the 1st round. Like they ended in the 1st round. Then against Tony Ferguson though, he ended up getting to round 5, surprisingly, because Tony was getting destroyed. Like, it was hard to watch, super hard to watch. But Gaethje, in all 3 fights, had the advantage, or had landed way more shots, total and as significant strikes as well. But surprisingly, with Gaethje being an all-American wrestler, you would have never guessed, because he keeps knocking fools out. Because not in any of his 3 fights was there a takedown attempt. Not even an attempt with all 3 of his last fights. Then again, though, you're going against some elite strikers, like elite strikers. Tony Ferguson, I mean, that's without question. Donald Cerrone, and then with Edson Barboza. All 3 are technically top-tier strikers. And Justin Gaethje was able to outstrike them. That's wild. That's super wild. So let's go over the breakdown. Justin Gaethje, he's got striking easily over Khabib. Like it ain't even close. So I want to say Khabib for grappling and wrestling, but that's the thing though, is that Justin Gaethje is an all-American wrestler. We just haven't seen it because his hands are so good. So, I mean, I'll give the edge of grappling to Khabib only because I've seen what he can do. Like, we've all seen what he's capable of doing as far as grappling and wrestling. But if I had to call it, I'm going with Gaethje. Justin, the highlight, Gaethje will beat Khabib because he just has to keep the fight standing. Because it's a no-brainer of Justin Gaethje's counterpunching abilities. He's super, super accurate, super strong with the hands, and he's able to outstrike super top-tier strikers. So going against a guy like Khabib, who's really just ground heavy, stand-up is going to be no issue. Now, if Khabib takes him down, this might be the change in the fight. That might be the change in the fight there. Now, really though, I can't say what's going to happen if they do go to the ground because Gaethje can wrestle. He can wrestle. You don't get All-American for nothing. So, Khabib, to beat Khabib, if I'm in Justin's corner, Justin needs to keep the fight on the feet. Keep the fight on the feet because that's a sure thing. Khabib cannot keep up with Gaethje's hands and feet. Not at all. If it goes to the ground, that's Khabib's world. Justin will be in some serious trouble if it goes to the ground because it's already been proven what Khabib can do. So Justin's got to keep the fight standing. Khabib has to take it to the ground. But being that Justin has wrestling experience, I think that's going to be a little tough for Khabib. So the dub is going to Justin to highlight Gaethje. And once again, y'all, this has been Mighty with Mean Hook. And remember, fight smart, fight strong, fight mighty. I'm out.